Yo, what's up guys? Today we're going to be going over how you can book your first gig as a musician. So first of all, my name is Michael. I'm an independent artist and I release original music, and then more importantly, I play live shows. So the first thing you're going to want to do in this process is find a venue to play at. So the first thing you can do to find a venue is a simple Google search of live music in my area. Typically a bunch of places will show up and you can basically sort through those and look for a venue that you think suits you. Another great way to find a venue to play at is looking at your local music scene page on Facebook. Personally, this is how I found my first gig. I think that there's a ton of great stuff on there that can help you get your first gig. Typically, there are a bunch of businesses on these Facebook pages advertising for artists to play at their venue. Some other recommendations I have if you're looking to do your first gig are places like coffee shops, small restaurants, cafes, and beer gardens. Personally, I played my first gig at a beer garden and it was a great experience. Here's some video. The next thing you're going to want to do after finding the place that you want to play at is contact the venue. Once you've narrowed down what venues you want to play in your local area, then do whatever possible to find an email, phone number, submission box, Facebook page, or anything of that sort in order to contact the venue. If you've never done a gig before, then I recommend gathering videos of you playing your instrument, singing, or maybe of your band playing and singing. Gather up all those videos and put them into a consolidated email that you're going to send to the venue. In this email that you're going to send to a venue, make sure to kind of explain who you are, include a short bio, and explain why you want to play at their venue. If you're on the younger side in high school or college, another important thing you can do is explain that you're a high school or college student. I found that typically people who know you're a student want to help you out, so they might be more willing to give you your first gig. Additionally, in this email, make sure you clarify what equipment you have and what equipment they have. If you're just starting out as an artist, it's probable that you don't have all the equipment that you need in order to successfully execute a show. So oftentimes venues will provide all of that equipment. Oftentimes they'll provide speakers, microphones, music stands, all that musical equipment that's needed in order for you to play a gig. While contacting the venue, make sure you keep in mind that not everyone will get back to you. Oftentimes it'll take tens or even hundreds of emails just to book your first gig, but don't let this deter you, as in the end it will be plenty worth it. Alright, if you're enjoying this video, please consider leaving a like and drop a sub. Alright, on to the next. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do while securing your first gig is work with the venue to determine a time and place. Assuming this venue is interested in having you or your band play at their business, then they're often going to provide a calendar or a couple of dates that work best for you to play. It's important to be accommodating to these businesses because they have so much going on. Music is just a small part of their business that they may not have too much time to dedicate to. After you've determined a date to play at, the next step is determining a rate that you're going to charge. So this can often be a difficult step because if you're just starting out as a band or a musician, then you don't have any reference of how much you should be charging. I often find that it's a balancing act between underselling yourself and overcharging for your services. I think the most important thing to remember is that your time, effort, skill, talent, and your service is worth something. So I think in more cases than not, artists will undercharge themselves as they're starting up in the music industry. This is not to say that you should charge an exorbitant amount of money, but it's just to say that you should not be charging $10 an hour for your first gig, even if it's your first gig. Personally, I was able to negotiate a price of $50 per hour for my first gig. This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to charge $50 per hour, but it could be a good starting point. It's always worth throwing out a number that's a little bit higher than you'd expect to get because maybe the venue does have the budget for that price rate that you set. The tactic that I used as I was first getting started off playing live music was asking the venue what pay range they usually pay their musicians. This allowed me to gauge what price I should charge this venue for my services. And in some cases, the range that they said was much higher than what I expected them to say. So in that case, I can charge more than I expected to charge initially, which is always nice. It's important to always have a backup rate in case they deny this question and don't want to tell you a range that they pay their artists. If they do deny this question, then just pick a number. In the end of the day, it is your first gig, and hopefully there will be multiple more gigs that you can charge more for down the road. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do while securing your first gig is showing up to the gig 30 minutes to an hour early. This allows plenty of time for things like traffic jams, setting up your equipment, warming up, and in general, just not being rushed. And the last thing you're going to want to do to finish off the process of securing your first gig is actually enjoying your gig. So in the end of the day, it's the most important that you have fun while doing your gig. It's most important that you can bring that energy to the business because in the end of the day, that's what's going to drive their business up. Make sure to tell all your friends, family, loved ones, anyone that you're playing this gig and ask them if they'd be willing to come out and support you, because in the end of the day, that's what the businesses want, is more people to be at their business, spending money, enjoying themselves, and having a good time. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video and thought it was helpful, drop a like and consider subscribing if you want more content like this. If you guys have any more questions about booking your first gig or gigs in general, or if anyone has booked a gig recently or is in the process of booking a gig, let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you would enjoy this one right here. working? Is it there? Wait. Alright. Peace.